Jay Will, why is LeBron James, why should he be considered the GOAT?
He brings more to the game, bro, as a basketball player.
Yeah.
I just think LeBron is more talented. But yeah, I got LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan's a killer, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, LeBron's the best player ever to play the game.
James is the best I've ever seen. He's improved every year. I've never seen a guy come into the game with the amount of fanfare, the amount of hype. He improved every year as a basketball player. Not only did he improve every year as a basketball player, he also took teams that were less than and took them and got the most out of those teams. For 18 straight years, there are 0 guys in the 75-year history of the NBA who can say that they've averaged 25 or more for 18 straight years. Nobody has ever said that. He was elite on the defensive side of the basketball. Not only was he elite on the defensive side of the basketball, he was elite as a playmaker. He's elite as a passer.
A lot of people believe that I'm like unfairly harsh to like LeBron or whatever because of the last video or just in general. And the reality is that's not the case. Like, I think that there is a space and there's a logical path that you can follow that will conclude that LeBron is the greatest player of all time. I also believe that there's a logical path that you can conclude that Michael Jordan is the 3rd greatest player of all time. The only thing I ask for is that logical path to be a sound one and it be consistent on how you judge other players. So the problem that I had with Nick Wright is that it seemed as if like in his video, he was pushing a lot of longevity talk, longevity, which to be fair to Nick Wright, that makes sense to why you would have both Kareem and LeBron ahead of Michael, because that would really be the only rhyme or reason why they could be ahead of MJ. But if you value longevity that much, then on that same list, having Luka Doncic anywhere in your top 50 doesn't make any sense, let alone having him top 20 all time. If you really value longevity, you would probably put Tim Duncan ahead of Magic Johnson as well. So again, that's the problem, is that when it's inconsistent, you've been judging players off of a different standard this entire time. Then when it came to LeBron and MJ, now all of a sudden you're switching up on how you determine who's supposed to be better between those two or between those two and Kareem. That's where things don't make any sense.
Dale, I'm gonna let you simmer.
If he elite for a long time, why he didn't make the playoffs his first 2 years in the league like Carmelo did coming in the league? If he elite for a long time, why the hell he run from Cleveland and back down from the challenge when Jordan was getting ran over by the Detroit Pistons, stood and held his nuts and went through the challenge?
Yeah, Ticket. Talk that talk, Ticket.
And build his own teams just to create this fake ass greatness that you guys praise and say he the greatest of all time. But when the nigga had a challenge, he ran away from it. I remember Jordan getting beat by Boston Celtics teams that were stacked too. He ain't run. He ain't hide. He ain't
talk that talk, Ticket.
He didn't go get all these other dudes. What did he do? He stand 10 toes down and held his nuts. Went through the grind. You can't be the GOAT if you had to stack the deck and take a different route than the real GOAT took to get the greatness, baby. You want to hear that? It's all cap.
Back in the 80s and 90s, it's not that they didn't run from the grind. It's that they couldn't leave the teams that they were on because they were signing these 10-year deals. They signed contracts that kept them on the same mediocre, piss-poor teams for a decade straight. There were several players in the NBA during the 80s and 90s who wanted to be on other teams but could not be on those other teams. We know this because as time continues to progress, there's more and more stories that are being highlighted about how players back in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s didn't want to be on those teams that they were playing on. They call this whole thing, and I love Kobe Bryant, but this whole thing where they kill me with Kobe. Oh, Kobe, he stuck through the grind. He stayed. No, he didn't. He stayed because they didn't trade him, not because he wanted to stay. He wanted to leave. Hakeem Olajuwon demanded a trade. Clyde Drexler wanted to be traded. Charles Barkley wanted to be traded, eventually got traded. He got the demand that he wanted. But there's several players at that time who wanted out of the situation that they were in, especially if it was one that was not conducive of winning. Blaming players in today's era because they have the flexibility and the options to leave the team that they're on to go play with a competent organization, that's a horrible, it's a terrible way to criticize players in today's game because they actually fought for that liberty, that freedom, that flexibility. And what's crazy is that flexibility was fought for by players in the 80s and 90s because they wanted that flexibility.
So and then when you look at career stats, y'all act like LeBron just blowing them out the category with assists, 2 assists more. 1 rebound more.
Okay.
That ain't nothing.
Fact.
He played in a tougher era.
Fact.
He played through more physicality.
Fact.
LeBron James tried. He
Fact.
ran. He went to a dude in D-Wade that was already a world champion, already a finals MVP. He picked another dude that was top 5 in his draft class, Chris Bosh.
Yeah, y'all. People are seeing when we talk about numbers about LeBron and MJ, y'all sit there and make it seem as if like the gap between these two are so monumentally wide. Like, no, bro, they put up relatively the same stats. As much as y'all sit here and y'all like to talk about, LeBron, he just dominates way more. Like, bro, he averages more rebounds, but then again, he's like 3 to 4 inches taller than MJ. He does average more assists, but Michael played in a system that was not going to allow him to average any exorbitant amount of assists. And even when he was in situations where they needed him to be the more facilitator or more of the ball handler, his assist numbers went up. Just because somebody doesn't do it, that doesn't mean that they can't do it. It's just that they're not asked to do it. Like y'all be dragging it. The numbers are very similar. Just cut that out.
He didn't go stack the deck. He didn't go put the best guys on his team. That's what you're seeing LeBron and KD and all these dudes do. Run around here, run to the greatest teams, win a championship, raise their hand and say I'm the best in the world. No, motherfucker, you got to go through the same grind that all them other dudes did. The same shit Reggie Miller had to do.
Now, stop right there. Hold on. Stop right there. We done. Okay, you done. Now, you about to hear it. Now you about to hear it. Now you about to hear it. Now you about to hear it. You want this fight, motherfucker? You got it. Okay. Now you about to hear it. So here's the story. Now you.
Whoa. First, yo, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all gotta chill out, dog. Chill out. First of all, Ticket TV was sitting there pushing some BS. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of propaganda that a lot of novices like to talk. Again, bro, we sitting here blaming LeBron because he decided to take his own legacy in his own hands and not allow a piss poor organization to waste his better athletic years by surrounding him with mediocre talent in contrast to other all-time great players. Like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and blame LeBron for that. He decided to move on from an organization that was not properly ran and went on to win some championships with some other all-time great players. Newsflash to people out there, every player who has 3, 4, 5 plus championships, they all won championships with all-time great talent around them. Every single last one of them. You may be able to pull off 1, maybe even 2 championships with subpar or average teammates surrounding you, but even then, it's a very unique circumstance that normally is surrounding that championship. The only way that you can get in the conversation of winning 3, 4, 5 plus championships is if you are on a team that is adequate enough to surround you with all-time great talent. Furthermore, y'all kill me with this whole thing about like, he decided to go with D-Wade. D-Wade's a proven leader. Yeah, but Chris Bosh, what was he? Chris Bosh wasn't really doing much out in Toronto. Let's keep it a bean. Kevin Love, he wasn't really doing much either out there in Minnesota. Kyrie definitely wasn't doing nothing in Cleveland. And Kyrie, if we keep it at a bean, ain't done shit since he's left LeBron as well. So y'all sit here and Anthony Davis wasn't doing nothing either. Oh, he had to stack the deck with all these great players. Like, all these great players were people who were putting up empty stats or just inflated numbers on losing situations. That's who was surrounding LeBron. Still some really great talent, but not the all-time great talent that was surrounded with some of these other players. LeBron plays 4 years with D-Wade. Y'all lose y'all mind. Magic Johnson comes into the NBA with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's fine. Larry Bird wins 1 championship. He doesn't win again until they get Dennis Johnson on the team and Kevin McHale starts to ascend to an all-time status. That's fine. Kyrie and Kevin Love, that's what y'all lose y'all mind on? But Larry Bird is playing with a proven winner, right? Larry Bird played with a proven winner and Dennis Johnson and had to wait until Kevin McHale ascended to all-time status before he could win again. But Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love is where y'all draw the line. 2 players who ain't done nothing since LeBron has left them. Oh, okay. Okay.
So here's the story. Now you start this conversation, this bullshit logic. You start this bullshit logic with Michael Jordan getting ran over by the Boston Celtics. First of all, that was in year 3. That wasn't in year 6 or year 7. I ain't done. The conversation works. You talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. Be the fuck quiet. I'm talking. Now, like I was saying, Michael Jordan, he had the luxury of having a unit built around him. That team was built entire. I'm not done. Once again, he had the luxury of a unit built around him. And with that unit being built around him, you cannot negate how important it is to build that kind of chemistry with Scottie Pippen, with Horace Grant, with B.J. Armstrong. And those guys being together for as long as they were together, they were putting ragtag crews around James. Not only were they putting ragtag crews around, I'm not done. Not only were they putting ragtag crews around James, they were asking him, in fact, demanding him, once he took that group to the finals, oh, we're going to do this every year. And not only we're going to do this every year, we don't even care if we win. We don't care if we win. We're going to do this every year. So this dude is going to the NBA or the Eastern Conference Championship with Mo Williams and Delonte West as his second and third. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Hold on, ticket.
I'm not done.
Hold on. I just had a teammate.
Ticket. We can't operate like this. We let you get your soliloquy off.
Hey, niggas be going crazy over basketball today. Well, what OG is saying is right, bro. Y'all kill me with this whole, like, what do y'all want LeBron to do? Y'all want LeBron to turn Mo Williams into Scottie Pippen? Like, what the fuck y'all want him to do, bro? What do y'all want him to do? These are players that are not on the same caliber as all-time greats. They're not there.
It's time to address the cap now. First of all, you praising a dude that lost 6 NBA finals picking his own team. Unimpressive. Secondly, you said they was building these hellacious teams around Michael Jordan. Bullshit. When Scottie Pippen came into the league, he was a bench player. When Horace Grant and them came into the league, they wasn't ready. When Mo Williams went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he had already averaged 17 points per game 2 years with the Milwaukee Bucks. Cut the cap out.
You guys are talking a lot about team stuff. There's a lot of team stuff. Hold on, man.
Hold on. Let me answer. Let me rebuttal. The Cleveland Cavaliers had the 4th highest payroll in the league for damn near 3 years in a row. They went in the luxury tax. You talking shit about Antoine Jameson? Antoine Jameson went to 4 All-Star games before he went to play with LeBron James.
In year 12. In year 12. Mo Williams was averaging 17 points per game before he went to LeBron James. No, give me a break. He's in year 12.
That team was running through teams all that season. They won 66 games.
Give me a break. Yeah, 66 games because of James. He was a league MVP that year. It was because of James.
He was the MVP.
And I don't break.
Chill. Let him get it off.
And Kobe went home with the Finals MVP.
Yo, this nigga is dumb. You're dumb. You are dumb. First of all, Scottie Pippen becoming a bench player. He was a bench player in the first year or two of his career. It doesn't mean that he was a bench player all his life. He was a bench player in the beginning stages of his career. Who he panned out to be is who Michael Jordan won with. It's not like Michael Jordan won championships with Scottie Pippen on the bench. He didn't start winning championships until Scottie Pippen entered his prime. Furthermore, you bring up Antoine Jameson and Mo Williams because they were all-stars before? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Once more, you need all-time great talent around you, not all-stars in a weak Eastern Conference, but you sitting here acting as if like they did an adequate job is a bunch of bullshit. Them being a luxury team and they spending all this money does not mean that they did a good job. That just means that they overspent on boo-boo talent. That's all that means. That's all that means. Dumb, bro. Anybody making the argument that the Cavaliers did a good job piecing a roster around LeBron, bro, that's a dumb argument. That's a waste of breath. That is such a dumb argument. Why you would even dare try to argue in favor of the Cavaliers being a competent franchise, bro? That's dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb, dog. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, man, I did a banger-ass video on my main channel. Make sure you go check that out as well. That video will be on the screen. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.